Hey guys, this is Day-6. So right, so yeah, this is our preview. So let's put it right side. So yeah, now it's visible both side. So now we are going to complete. Sorry, we are going to start from 51. Okay, so yeah, so let's get into it. Something does not look right. You added the correct class attribute value p element with donut as its text, but you don't define a selector for it. CSS rule of flavor already exists in the property you want. Add an additional structure CSS rule. Okay, yeah. So yesterday we have added this flavor class, right? So just we should link this desert class to dot dessert desert. So yeah, we'll check our code. Yeah, it's right. Let's move on. Okay. Below the desert, you have just add the rest of the desert and the price is 3 more. Article each 2 nested p element and the correct desert price text and should have the correct classes. Okay, yeah. As we completed yesterday, this all 4 term, the same goes to here. We should add article. So article with the class item, right? And inside this we have 2 paragraph element with the class. First is desert and second with the class price. Right, let's close our article. Okay, sorry. Here our article string is misspelled. Okay, right. So yeah, let's copy this. Control C. So it's 3 times, right? Control V, Control V. Okay. So I just copy paste 3 times. So let's copy this right now. Cherry pie 2.75, right? Control V, cherry pie 2.75. Then cheesecake. Let's copy it and paste it here. The price is 3. So 3.00. And last is a roll, cinnamon roll 2.50. Okay, let's check our code. Oh my god, there's a mistake. You should not have spaces. Oh my god, yeah, we have many spaces inside this. So let's reduce the spaces. We should not have any spaces. Okay, so now we can check. Yeah, our code working fine. Okay, you can give a menu some space between this content and sites with various padding. Yeah, the padding is important because when you see here there is no space inside this left side, right? Same wise here right side. So let's add some padding to it. So let's give a menu padding left and padding right. Padding left 20 pixel. You can see our padding has been applied here. So there is a 20 pixel gap, and let's add a padding in here too. Okay, so padding right 20 pixel. Okay, yeah, you can see both left side and right side of the class menu has been added padding. So let's check our code. Yeah, it's right. So move on. That looks better. Now try to add some same 20 pixel padding to the top and bottom of the menu. Let's add padding to the top 20 pixel and padding to the bottom. You can see padding has been applied here, and let's add in the bottom too 20 pixel. Let's check. Yeah, the code is working fine. You can see the padding is applied to all these sides. Okay, so we have a shortcut method. Okay, so what means is you can see a padding of 20 pixel applied to the all both side, right? So it takes 4 lines, but we can write it in a single line. Okay, so just we can delete this earlier. Okay, so padding, you can see all padding has been removed. So padding 20 pixel, this will apply to every side. Okay, so top, bottom, left, right. So this is the shortcut method or a simple form to write padding. The current width of the menu will always take 80% of the body. Elements width on very wide screen. The coffee and desserts appears apart from their prices. Add a max width. Okay, so yeah, when the white screen has been too much, it seems too big. Okay, you can see this very nearby also correct when we see right here, but when you can see right now. So let's increase this. So yeah, you can see now this seems this is so we can't just relate each other, right? So they are not making the same. So you can see the price of this is difficult to understand this. So for this we use a max width. So let's readjust to original position. Okay, yeah. So we use max width. So yeah, in this I use max width to 500 pixel. Okay. So yeah, check your code. It's right because now when I have a big screen like this, okay, let's see. You can see now it's getting the maximum with the 500 only. So you can see now you can see this name of the coffee and its price simultaneously in each same line, right? So yeah, this looking so good. So let's rearrange it. So yeah, let's move on. Okay, you can change the font family of text to make it look different from default font of your browser. Each font has some font available. So yeah, okay. So let's try to change the font. So font family to sans. It's a type of a font, right? So you can, there are many fonts like sans serif, normal serif, and many more. So now you can see the font of the menu card has been updated to sans serif. So yeah, it is a bit boring for text to have the same font family. You still have majority of the text sans serif and make just h1 h2 element different using the different selector. Style both h1 and h2 so that these elements use impact font. Okay, so let's style h1 and h2, right? So what we can do is just we should change the font of this two headings. Okay, so the font is impact. There are many font types of fonts there. So now we are going to change the impact. You can see, so this has a strong impact of the menu card. You can see it. Okay, so yeah, let's move on. Okay, so you can add a fallback value for the font family by adding another font name separated by comma. So fallback are used in the instance where the initial is not found or available. So okay, so you can see when the browser can't load impact, a font impact, we can add a fallback font like this. So you can see serif. So this will not apply now. You can see, wait, I will cut this. So you can see now this I have a serif font, but and I have included impact. So if the impact is not available, this will move on to serif font. Okay, so now it's available, so it's showing the impact font. So using this fallback font is very much useful because every time we can't load, there are many font types, so some browsers can't adapt to this font. So using this fallback font is very useful. So okay, so make the S2020 established on 2020 text italic by creating an established class actor and giving it a font style. So let's create a class established and the font style of this should be italics, right? So let's check. Yeah, it's right, but you can see it's not updated because we should add the class here. Okay, so let's add it. So yeah, let's check now. Yeah, our code has been updated, so you can see this established 2020 has become italic. Okay, so yeah, let's move on. So the typography of heading element h1 h2 is set to be default value of the user browser. Okay, so add a new type selector h1 is use font size property of both to 40 pixel for h1 and 30 pixel for h2. Okay, I can understand it. You can see the defaultly the h1 has some default value, right? So you can see the h1 is always bigger, h2 is somewhat smaller, and paragraph is even smaller, right? Font size to h1 and h2, right? So h1 with the font size 40 pixel, right? So you can see now the h1 tag has become bigger and h2 font size to 30 pixel, right? So yeah, now you can see the h2 tag also becoming quite bigger, right? So using this you can change the font size, like you can see it's to 80. You can see so big fonts, right? So you can use any custom font size as you wish. So for now we use 40 pixel as they suggest, right? Normal. So let's add a footer, right? Add a footer element below the main element where you can add some additional information. Okay, you know the footer, what is the meaning of the footer means? In this our web page, you can, like, I can zoom out, so you can see this is the web page, right? So this is a main and we have article and the footer comes at the bottom of the page. Okay, for bottom of the web page. So let's add the footer tag that's in the bottom of the web page after the main tag. So let's close the footer. Okay, let's control check. Okay, yeah, it's right. Let's move on. So inside the footer, add a paragraph, nest an anchor element with the P element to link this website. Okay, yeah, I can understand now. So what they are telling is just we should add a paragraph. So in this paragraph, we should have a text. Let's see, anchor href equal to this website. Okay, so inside this paragraph, we have an anchor tag. Okay, so which has the reference to this website. Okay, so the sentence inside this is visit our website, right? So yeah, let's close our anchor tag and let's close our paragraph tag. Okay, so yeah, you can see now visit our website has been visible on our web page, right? So let's check our code. Yeah, it's right. Let's move on. Okay, so yeah, add a second paragraph element below one with the link. Give it the text 123 freeCodeCamp, right? Control C. Let's add another second paragraph, right? Let's add a second paragraph and paste it and let's close this paragraph. Yeah, it's right. Let's move on. The thing has been updated in our page, right? Yeah. So sorry, ask me later. Okay, you can use an HR element to display divider between this section. Yeah, the HR is nothing but a simple line, right? So yeah, we can see in this thing. So add an HR element between P element with the class established and the first section element. Note that HR elements are self-closing. Yeah, I know that. Okay, so add HR element between P element with the class established. So you can see here we have established, right? So we can add an HR tag. So yeah, I added it. So you can see here a line has been introduced, right? So this is the HR tag. Okay, I think it's right. Let's check. Yeah, it's right. Let's go on. Okay, the default property of HR element will make it as a light gray line. Yeah, it's looking like a light gray line. Yeah, you can see it clearly. Like when I zoom in, yeah, you can see like light gray line. Okay, so let's make first. Let's change the property to the height to 3 pixel, right? So HR with the height, let's increase this height to 3 pixel. Okay, so 3 pixel. So yeah, let's control enter. So it's right. So you can see now this line has been 3 pixel wide. Yeah, you can see it clearly. So now let's change the background color as they suggest, brown. So yeah, so it's brown. Let's check to brown, right? Yeah, so notice that the gray color along the edges of the line. Yeah, well, I can zoom it so you can clearly I can show, right? Yeah, you can see now there is a gray, light gray border. This is called a border, right? And this has in style of I think border. I have many times like rigid term something so on inside something like more. So now this we should take this border, right? So you can change, right? So they are telling make all edges of the HR same color as the background. Okay, so yeah, so they are telling that change this background, sorry, border, change this border color as brown. Okay, you can see now the border has become brown in color, right? So let's check. Yeah, I said let's move on. Okay, so notice the thickness of the lines bigger, right? So thickness is bigger. So property border width to 1 pixel. So let's change the border width to 1 pixel. Okay, so yeah, for all edges HR, by changing the border of the same color as the border, the total height of the line is 5 pixel. So 3 pixel of the top and bottom border with 1 pixel. Okay, I can understand. So you can see now the border, wait a second, it's border become 1 pixel, right? 1 pixel top, 1 pixel bottom, right? So yeah, so change the height of the property HR to be 2 pixels, so the total height become 4 pixel. Okay. Okay, so change the height to 2 pixel. Okay, you know the height become 2 pixel. Okay, so total is 4 pixel. Let's resize the browser. Okay, so yeah, so go ahead and add another HR between the main element and the footer. Yeah, okay, I understand. So this HR let's add here in the bottom too, right? So it could be nice. Okay, here's the footer. Let's add here right now. So HR, so control enter. Yeah, that's right. You can see now an HR, a divider has been included here, right? Yeah. To create a little more room around the menu, add 20 pixels of space on the inside body element by using a padding properly. Okay, so let's add a little bit of room to this inside menu, right? So for that you can use the padding for the bottom. Okay, so what they are telling is add and padding, right? Padding to the bottom. So to the BOTQM bottom of 20 pixel. Sorry, pixel, right? So yeah, you can see now clearly that there is an error. Padding of 20 pixels, sorry, not bottom, padding, I have misspelled. Okay, yeah, you can see padding has been introduced to the both sides, okay, 20 pixel. So well, clearly show now, you can see now here now there is a 200 pixel padding, right, in the both sides. So they are telling us if you take 100, this is the 100 padding, so just they are telling us to add only 20 pixel. So now the body has a padding of minimum 20 pixels. So okay, so the browser when zooming there is a minimum of 20 pixel of the padding of the body tag. Okay, so yeah, this is you can see now. I zoom in. Okay, yeah, so minimum 25, maximum there is no limit, so it's expand up to see many padding as the top, bottom and everything. Okay, so yeah, so let's zoom to normal 100%, right? More. Okay, focus on menu item and the prices. There is fairly large gap between each line. So yeah, you can see now there is a large gap between each line. So let's target and p element nesting elements with the class named item. Set the top and bottom margin to 5 pixel. Item, you can see that the class name item and the p element just we have targeted before. So we should add an top and bottom margin. Okay, margin top to 5 pixel. Okay, margin bottom to 5 pixel. Yeah, you can see now the default has been removed, and now the inside the paragraph we used to top margin top and margin bottom to 5 pixels, so it looks neat, right? You can see there's not many gap between them. Let's check our code. Yeah, it's right. Let's move on. Okay, using the same style style in previous step, make the font size item to make price larger. Okay, so yeah, this is smaller as compared, so let's change this font size as 18. So sorry, 18 pixel. So yeah, the defaultly it is 16, so let's move to 18, so it looks bigger enough to see it clearly. Yeah, let's move on 75. Changing the margin to 5 pixel looks great. However, now the space between the cinnamon roll, wait a second, is that? Yeah, cinnamon roll menu item and second HR does not match space between HR element of the coffee. Okay, yeah, what they are telling is here we have many space, right? But here we have no space. So we should match both these spaces, right? So add some more spaces by creating a class named bottom line. So add space by creating a bottom line. BOTTOM bottom minus line, bottom line, and add a margin top to 25 pixel as they mentioned. So let's check, nothing will be showed right now because there is no class named bottom line. So let's add right now. So class equal to bottom line, right? So let's check our code. Yeah, it's right. Let's move on. You can see now there is a space, right, as the here. Okay, yeah, it's looking great. So next you are going to style the footer to keep the CSS organized. Add a comment to the end of the style within footer text. Okay, let's add a comment footer. Let's check. Yeah, it's right. Let's add. So a comment helps to organize the stuff in a good way. So moving down the footer, make all the value of font size 14 pixels. So let's decrease the font size. So defaultly it is 16. So let's decrease to 14. So footer font size to 14 pixel. So yeah, you can see that we decrease the font size 16 from 16 to 14. Okay, let's move on. The default color of the link has not yet clicked on this, typically blue. Yeah, you can see it typically it's blue in color. So the default color of link already visited page typically purple. You can see when I click this, we go to the other page. Okay, so now it's not working, but in real link it will work. To make footer link say same color regardless of the link is visited or none, we should make it into the value black for the color. Okay, we can style this link to, you can see that the color of this link we are telling to change it to black. You can see I changed to black. You can see it's a link, but it's still looking like a paragraph, but still it's a link. Okay, yeah, move on. You can change the properties of a link when the link has actually visited the pseudo sector. Yeah, so yeah, so what they're doing is when the link is visited, change the color of the link to gray. Yeah, you can see it's a similar easy way. So you can check. So when I visit this, it's changed in this black to gray. Okay, so yeah, you can see as I mentioned earlier, when I hover, okay, hover is nothing but when I keep the mouse over it. Okay, so that's called hover. Change this link to the color of the link to brown. Okay, so yeah, so you can see when I write this, I explain this hover. Okay, you can see now this is black and white. So when I hover over it, when I keep my mouse over it, it changes to the color brown. So this is the purpose of functionality of the hover. Okay, so when I keep my mouse over it, it changes it executes the line inside it. So now it's color brown, so it changed to brown. Okay, so let's move on. So you can change the properties of link when link is actually being clicked by sudo setter active. Okay, so yeah, as I mentioned, this is also a link. So let's start. Okay, active. So when I keep my active spelling is wrong, sorry, it's v. Okay, so when the link is active, it executes this code that is changing the color to white, right? Yeah, let's check it. Yeah, it's right. So when I click, you can see when I click, yeah, it's color changing, right? You can see that when I click, this changes its color. You can see right now. Yeah. So this is are the three properties. I think that's all. So to keep the same color theme, you already been using black. Don't change the color when the link is visited to black and brown. It's actually clean. So what they are saying is change the color for the link. Link is visited to black. When it is visited, change it to black, and when the link is actually clicked, brown. So brown, and that's all I think so. To keep the same color theme, you already been using black and brown. So yeah, I think it's right. Yeah, it's right. Let's move on. Okay. So yeah, the menu text chamfer cap has a different space from the top than the address space at the bottom. So yeah, you can see there is a space and there is a space, right? So bottom of the menu. So yeah, so this is due to the browser having a some default top margin from editor. So this h1 has a default compared to this paragraph. So change this h1 top margin top to 0. So the margin has been reduced to 0. The default value has been reduced. So we can now set the any margin. So to remove the vertical space between h1 and the text, change the bottom margin of h1 to 15 pixel. So here too there is a default margin. So they are telling us to change the margin of the bottom to 15 pixel, right? So when I put 0, as you can see there is a become closer. So when I put 15 pixel, it makes a correct spacing or correct margin, right? Yeah. So now the top spacing looks good. Yeah. So the space between the address and the bottom of the menu is little bigger than the space of the top. So you can see there is more space now in at the bottom. So let's decrease the margin space within the address. So targeting the p element, create a class selector named create a class selector address. Okay, they are trying to create a class selector address, right? So let's make a dot add or ess address. Inside that, let's create a margin bottom to 5 pixel. Okay, yeah, I think it's right. Yeah, it's right. So nothing is right now visible. Let's add it to the HTML part. So now apply the address class to p11 containing the 123 code. Okay, so they're telling to add the class here. So address, right? Yeah, so now it's correct. So yeah, you can see. So they are telling the menu looks good, but other than the coffee beans background image, it's mainly just a text. So under the coffee heading, this coffee heading, add an image using the URL. We should add this image, Control C, under the coffee. Okay, it's under this coffee. Just we can add an image with the source equal to the link has been provided, and you can see right now there is an image, right? So they are telling use an alt tag, that is coffee icon, right? Okay, let's close this. I think it's pretty much right. Yeah, that's right. This one you can see there is image has been loaded, right? So let's position the image using CSS. So the image you added is not centered horizontally. Coffee heading above it. Image elements are like inline elements, so they are inline, so they take necessary space as they needed. So to make the image behave like a heading element, which are block element, create an image type of image and block. So make it to block, right? So let's target this image and make this display as block. Okay, so let's make it into block. Okay, so yeah, and margin left, as they mentioned, margin left to I think auto, and margin right to auto. Sorry, not 0, it's auto. So yeah, when you're keeping this auto, the browser defaultly giving the equal spaces for both left and right margins. Okay, so which makes the image to place in the center. So add one last image under the desert. So we can add image for the desert too. So yeah, let's copy this image, Control C, and add it here. So yeah, the image is simply img with the source equal to, let's copy paste it, and with the alt equal to pie icon. So it's the alternate thing. Okay, so you can see, let's Yes, right. Let's move on. You can see it's centered because we have styled it already. So okay, it would be nice if it vertically spaced between the H2 elements and their associated icons are smaller. This is the space between here and here are smaller, means it could be nice, right? We can see there is more space between them. Okay, so for this, the H2 elements has a default top and bottom margins. So could change bottom margin H2 element to 0 or other number. Okay, so they're telling there is a easier way, simply add a negative top margin to the image elements to pull them from their current position. Okay, they are telling us first try, we can just reduce this H2 element bottom margin, but doing that we can do in that way, but we can do in another way. That's just by easier way is we can just have the negative margin for this image. Okay, though it will get pulled by this H2 tag. Okay, I can explain with this code. You can see. So what they are telling is add a top margin. Okay, top margin to this image with the negative 25 pixel. Okay, so margin top, sorry, I have mentioned the top wrongly, it's margin top. So yeah, you can see now the image has become much closer, right? So what we are doing here, done here, so we are making the margin of the top to minus 25 pixels, so which forces the element to go front, right, go in the top side. Okay, so yeah, so let's move on. We have successfully completed this 100% of the basic CSS by building a cap menu. Okay, so yeah, let's see here. Okay, so you can see right now we have completed this learn basic CSS part. So let's tomorrow onwards, let's move on to this CSS color. Okay, coloring by making a colored markers. Okay, so yeah, we are going move on by tomorrow. So right now we have completed till this second exercise of till 91 steps. Okay, see you tomorrow. Happy coding, enjoy coding.